Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Statesman.com and another edition of our high school football blitz. I'm joined, as always, by Thomas Jones. And Thomas, a lot of blowout games this weekend, and I know you saw one of them. But let's start from the top. Game ball. Let's start from there.
Okay, my game ball, I'm going to go defense because we have to give the defensive players some love sometimes too. Round Rock safety Brian Bolger had another great game as the Dragons beat Westwood 65-6. And how's this for starting that game off? First play from scrimmage, Bolger picks off the Westwood quarterback, returns it 24 yards for a touchdown. It's his 5th interception of the year. It's his 3rd pick 6. Pretty impressive.
I think I'm going to pick him for all syntax now. You've got me into it. I'm going to go with Reese Johnson, the quarterback at Dripping Springs. I know we've talked about him a lot, but this time he has really earned it. 255 yards passing, 231 yards rushing, 7 total touchdowns, 64-54. They needed every touchdown to beat Alamo Heights. He had 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter to finally give them the lead. He was a man on a mission, Reese Johnson.
He's my weekly Vince Young winner, because those sound like Rose Bowl numbers.
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah.
I was at that game. You saw the big Connolly-Cedar Park showdown, the one that we amped up, the one that we said was going to be a great game, and you had a bird's eye view. What sets Cedar Park apart?
I mean, so many things, but what really stood out to me, Connolly has a good defensive front, and they said, we're going to take away Cedar Park's running game. So, okay, Max Sexton, the quarterback for Cedar Park, airs it out, throws for 216 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first half. What impresses me about Cedar Park is when needed, they can throw it. They're the most multi-dimensional 5A team in the area, and that's why they're a threat to win another state title.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with the line of scrimmage. Every coach wants to win the battle of the trenches. They win the battle of the trenches on both sides of the ball. You mentioned the great defense already. 5 shutouts in 8 games. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just start from there. On the offensive side of the ball, they average 5.7 yards a rushing play, which means that interior line, they're getting a great push off the ball. They beat up people, they overpower people, and that's the reason they're 8-0. Last but not least, let's talk about a team that you believe is going under the radar that has a chance to do something in the playoffs.
Well, the team I think is flying under the radar because they don't fly very high are the Taylor Ducks.
Ooh, I like that.
This 4A team, they're averaging 38 points a game. As always, they have a lot of speed, a lot of big play potential, but their defense is playing really well. They held Bernie, a good Bernie team, to 7 points in a win this past week. And Taylor, they've beaten good teams. They've beaten LaGrange, which is going to be a playoff team. They've beaten Rockdale, the only loss for Rockdale, the 3A power. But Taylor is a good team. Keep an eye out for the Ducks.
If I had to pick one that we haven't really spoken at all about, I'm going to go with the Lago Vista Vikings. 7-1 this year. That's the team that we haven't talked about at all. They're 3-0 in district, tied with Marion for the district lead. But Lago Vista has a history. In a 7-year stretch between 07 and 13, they were 61-23. So it's not unheard of for the Vikings to have good teams. This is going to be another one. 7-1, that's pretty impressive. They're definitely under the radar, as are the Taylor Ducks, way under the radar. Well, that does it for this week's edition of the High School Blitz, and thanks for joining us. And be sure to join us later this week when we pick the top 4 games of the week, and there's some good ones out there. But until then, I hope your favorite team wins.